Limited. This is the CBC Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Michelle Arthur, and this is the CBC Evening News for Tuesday, September 17th. In our top story tonight, police are seeking the public's assistance in identifying the body of a man found floating just off Browns Beach late this afternoon. According to Police Public Relations Officer Inspector David Welch, it was around 4 o'clock when the man's body was seen floating in the area near the Costa Manning's Pierhead. The body was recovered with help from the Coast Guard. The man is believed to be in his late 20s to early 30s. He is 6 feet in height, of dark complexion and medium build, with a low-cut black hair. At the time, he was wearing a yellow pair of bathing trunks, and he had a gold-studded earring in one ear. Anyone who may be able to identify the man should either go to the Central Police Station or call the station at 430-7676 or the emergency number 211. The Health Ministry will do all in its power to reduce incidences of strokes and heart attacks which occur on a daily basis in Barbados. This pledge from Health Minister John Boyce, who's acknowledged that cardiovascular diseases continue to be the leading cause of illness and death on the island. At least 3 strokes are reported every 2 days. He made the comments as the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Barbados was renamed the Hassel and Simmons Cardiac Care Center. Peter Thorne reports.
Health Minister John Boyce says strokes and heart attacks are a major source of worry for healthcare practitioners in the island, and his pledge should do everything possible to reduce these cases.
Mortality statistics from the Queen Elizabeth Hospital indicate that cardiovascular disease accounts for between 20 to 30% of all deaths. Our efforts, therefore, must be directed at the reduction of premature death and potential years of life lost from cardiovascular disease. Fortunately, 80% of these deaths are preventable using simple lifestyle modification, including limited alcohol intake, abstinence from tobacco, daily physical activity and exercise, and a wholesome diet including fruits and vegetables.
Mr. Boyce says the scale of cardiovascular diseases in Barbados is at the level of an epidemic, and Barbadians must try to live healthy lifestyles to prevent more cases from coming to light.
The registry showed that there were 456 and 480 cases of stroke in 2009 and 2010, respectively. That is approximately 3 strokes every 2 days. These statistics resulted in a policy decision for the creation of a 16-bed stroke unit, again at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, that will provide urgent and critical interventions for stroke patients and will translate into better outcomes.
Minister Boyce also lauded the work of Drew Simmons and Professor Trevor Hassel, in whose honor the Heart and Stroke Foundation was renamed at a fitting ceremony attended by Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave and numerous family and friends. Mr. Boyce says the accolades bestowed on these 2 past presidents of the foundation are truly deserving.
To Professor Hassel and Mr. Drew Simmons, I join with many others here today, and to our president, to give my commendations of the outstanding work and commitment that you and many others have given towards advancing healthcare in Barbados. The naming of this building in your honor is a true recognition of the tireless and unswerving effort in reducing the burden of cardiovascular disease in Barbados.
At the ceremony, a plaque was also unveiled in honor of the Maria Holder Memorial Trust Resource Center, which has been the main financier behind the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Peter Thorne, CBC News.
There's a belief that the Barbados Light and Powers monopoly could come to an end soon. Barbados' ambassador to CARICOM, Robert Bobby Morris, made this suggestion during a reception for members of CARILEC, the Caribbean Electricity Utility Service Corporation, at the Hilton Hotel. The former trade unionist is certain this will become a reality as Barbados pursues its renewable energy objectives and Barbadians try to reduce energy costs.
To some extent, our current monopoly companies cannot continue within the context of a World Trade Organization, which has as one of its major tenets that monopolies cannot be allowed to exist in the same way as they did in the past. And here in Barbados, we are continuing to witness the impact of the deregulation of telecommunications sector, once dominated by a single cable and wireless operation. The same is coming to power generation for sure. Furthermore, it was clear that local business and consumers in our country are beginning to reduce costs by examining alternatives to the current arrangements.
Barbados' Ambassador Morris also called on trade unions to play their part as new jobs come on stream in the renewable energy sector.
As new jobs are developed in the renewable energies area, trade unions have to make sure that jobs are related to the International Standard Classification of Occupations, and where employees are engaged, that they are paid according to job worth.
Barbadians should know by month end if there will be a sea egg season this year or if the ban, which has been in effect for several years, will continue. Fisheries officials have told CBC News that divers have been out in the sea at various sites across the island since last month to determine whether there are enough mature sea eggs to harvest. These checks will continue for at least another week, following which a recommendation will be made to Agriculture Minister Dr. David Estwick. For the past several years, sea eggs have been given a chance to replenish. However, authorities report that poaching remains a major problem. The last time sea eggs were harvested in Barbados in a full season was 2004, and limited harvesting has been allowed since then. The National Reparations Task Force is going on the offensive to combat inaccurate information threatening the organization's work. Chairman Professor Pedro Welch said it is high on his agenda when he returns from a 3-day regional reparations conference in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I have to use the word offensive because to some extent there's a reaction already, and we have a bit of a war going on, and we have to make it clear that we're not seeking to destroy anyone, but we can't allow persons to offer misinformation and to misrepresent the reparations cause. So there will be some responses to some recent articles in the local newspapers, etc., and we will take on that very vigorously. But most certainly, the issue will be to engage with civil society.
Professor Welch suggested the 3-day meeting with heads of reparations committees in the Caribbean was successful. He added that the CARICOM Reparations Commission will soon be established.
The various chairpersons will meet together to look at the question of establishing the Caribbean Commission. Once that is established, then you would have 2 levels of operations. And as I said, the first level would be of course, with the CARICOM side of the operations. The next level would involve the national commissions, and also that would also include the involvement of civil society, various groups, the churches, the Rastafarian community, other NGOs and other groups that would have an interest in the matter.